Hi, what's up guys? This is going to be my review on the Lil Skies album, Unbothered. In hindsight, Lil Skies seemed to have been the most basic SoundCloud rapper to blow up in the music scene. He is not as eccentric as Lil Uzi or as controversial as XXXTentacion, but with an image that most people call the basic SoundCloud rapper starter pack, consisting of face tattoos, color dreads. People were quick to come to like his music behind the image. The main subject matters and lyrics of his songs are about drugs and mixed with depressed lyrics about his come up. And his biggest hit song, Red Roses, was just such a song, with lyrics that speaks of Sky's personal downfalls, drugs, as well as the fake people that are surrounding him now that he is famous. He has a pretty similar blow up into the mainstream with other rappers during his time, with Red Roses getting a music video treatment from Cole Bennett, who at the time seems to be the most essential part in making a song a hit. I also find it interesting to point out that for some reason Lil Skies has always reminded me of Logic. This comparison really comes into my mind with this album cover where we see Lil Skies sitting in his brightly lit up and colorful room, surrounded by things that he undoubtedly is influenced by. They have a similar come up to Logic and Lil Skies, blowing up largely thanks to YouTubers and mostly being ignored by his peers in the music world, it seems like. But they have big songs and a large following and are backed by some larger artists too. Wiz Khalifa in the case of Lil Skies. I think the most prominent point of similarity is how their music concentrates around how important it is to be positive and to be always striving for your goal and to dream chase. While their filler lyrics are different, Logic is more similar to the likes of Drake and Kendrick, and Skies is similar to the likes of Lil Uzi and Juice WRLD. They are both lyrically a level above those that are in the mainstream in their generation and have a signature flow that their fans can always go and listen to when they are flowing, but they might just not have that it factor that makes a superstar compared to other rappers in their generation. On this album, perhaps feeling the incoming decline of the image that comes along with being a SoundCloud rapper, Lil Skies chose to fall back from the front lines of that SoundCloud imagery, choosing to cut off his dreads and to choose to focus on his family, specifically his son, who he brings up a couple of times in this album. Also, Lil Skies chose to experiment more with his topics and his voice on this album with songs that does not follow the typical formula for Lil Skies. The first song, Fade Away, begins with Skies saying, "Yeah, we on go another lane," telling us that he is going to go on another path, straying away from the expectations that fans have expecting for him. However, this song is also the perfect example of what you can expect from a Lil Skies song, with the hook being this. I'm gonna throw it up on the video. So I don't really know what he's talking about because this is such a typical song for him. This is the typical topics for Sky, leading off with lyrics that are life-affirming, and even if times are hard, he will go through it with a positive mindset in order to achieve his goals. The next track that I want to talk about is the third track called Excite Me, featuring Wiz Khalifa. I find the Wiz Khalifa feature to be pretty typical and to be expected for any Skies album from now on. They are both from the same city, Pittsburgh, and they both are in a mainstream lane that casual fans of music might be able to enjoy. They are also enjoying a diehard fan base that will listen to any music that they will put out. As for the feature on this song, the hook is not the type of hook that a fan might expect from Skies. It is more nasty than usual, and that might be because it is catering to the Wiz Khalifa fan base. As for Wiz himself, on the first listen, I didn't even know it was him and thought it was a random rapper. He did not rap about weed, and we also couldn't hear his laugh that are also usually ad-libbed throughout the tracks. Auto-tune is also splattered all over his voice, so it was really hard to tell that it was him. It was a meh track, to be honest. Another track that I want to highlight is the song called Okay. And compared to the title of this song, it is not just okay. It is something fundamentally different from the typical Skies track. In the song, the melodies are minimal, but the reverb is turned all the way up. From the way that the song was constructed, you can tell that Sky is trying to make a different type of song. He goes all the way in on the flexing, tells us that back to back, track on track, he goes in and he can spit a hard verse just for fun. And this is all over a Buddha beat, so I think this is a successful experiment for him, and I want to hear more of this type of song from him. However, every other song on this album follows the typical formula for Skies. It sounds like he is bored and he is going to the usual topics that he has been rapping about for the last 2 albums. Like on the song Sky High, where we find Sky rapping over a typical trap beat, the vibe that he's trying to find on this song sounds really like Red Roses, and it is really tiresome. The only other experimentation that you can find is on the songs Locked Up and Trust Nobody, where he is trying to find some inflection on his voice that he has never had before, straining it up and down, using pitches that he never have used before. It is something different for him, but he is not going all the way there. I think Lil Skies is trying to sound different here on this 3rd release in a world that is dominated by rappers like DaBaby, Lil Baby, and Young Thug. Rappers that are tough and rappers that are just built different. Skies finds himself trying to be lyrically tough and nasty, and he is doing little experiments on his voice so that he might be different enough on some songs, but he is just not trying hard enough. At the end of the day, he might just be the Wiz Khalifa of the new generation, someone that is big in the music world, but always loses in the topic of who makes the best music of his generation. Alright guys, that's it for my review on Lil Skies' new album. Let me know if you enjoyed this release by him and comment below. Watch some of my other reviews by clicking on the link above right here, and look forward to my video on the rap conspiracy iceberg that will be coming soon. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.